Hello and welcome back to Teatime and Tarot on Looking Glass Letterbox. Welcome, happy Thursday. It is day 32 of Teatime and Tarot. I hope you all are having a wonderful week so far. Today we have the new moon in Aquarius, which is, if you like to work with the astrological influences, new moons are a great time for beginnings, for starting projects, for re-envisioning projects that you've already been working on with an expansive, unique, sort of out-of-the-box evaluation. Oh, and you have the Magician here. So reimagining, reincepting ideas, seeing what you have that you can work with and how you can apply things in new and unique ways, being empowered to do so with the Magician. Lovely. And the Magician is a call to action. Oh, it's not a passive. And then we have the Lovers just flipped here. So that it's commitment, unification within a partnership and within yourself as well. Sort of aligning and embracing those things that are required of every individual in order to enter into a long-term commitment, and having the conviction and the understanding. Mercury retrograde is still happening, guys. We're still in it, so I'm tripping over my words. I apologize, but I'll eventually get there. But recommitting to your initial purpose with the reevaluation and the re-envisioning of things, especially within this Aquarius new moon and all of the planets that are currently in Aquarius, and the expansive energy of Jupiter opening up new avenues and new ideas and new perspectives and new potential, but also Saturn there still asking you, well, okay, that's wonderful, but how are we going to make this happen? What can you do in order to take actionable steps in order to align your frequency and your intention and your behavior in order to activate this expansion in what you're actually doing. It's also the card of Gemini, so it may be helpful to talk to a Gemini. What else do we have here? So also with the new moon in Aquarius specifically, it's about re-envisioning the things that you've been doing. Okay, we have Death. All trump cards on the table so far, guys. This is a intense, heavy, not heavy, I don't want to say heavy, because this is very sort of, intense is not the word I'm looking for. What is the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but anyway, it's a powerful set of cards on the table so far. Death, card of Scorpio, may be helpful to talk to a Scorpio, but it's about the transition and the transformation, again, of something ending and something else getting ready to open up and begin, and that tracks with all of the astrological influences that are happening right now. And then we'll get one more. Oops, too many. One more card, please. Okay. The King of Cups. Okay, so emotional mastery, emotional maturity, and adeptness at knowing how to be in flow and to acknowledge and process and work with the emotional influences of things that are going on for you right now, and also knowing how to reign over them instead of having them reign over you. So not being stuck or caught or dictated to by your emotions, but being aware that, okay, well, this is how I'm feeling right now. What do I want to do about that? So instead of being ruled by your emotions, you rule over your emotions and how you're going to operate within that system, and reigning over your own little, not to be dismissive or diminutive, but reigning over your own scope of influence in a masterful and commanding and authoritative way, but with generosity and fulfillment and appreciation for, where you are and what you're doing and how you have decided to proceed and the decisions that you decide to make from this point of the crown. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have Justice. So again, that's taking a reevaluation in an airspace, because this is the card of Libra, so it may be helpful to speak to a Libra. But getting a bird's eye view of your original map and reevaluating those things with the current lay of the land and re-envisioning how you want to go forward from this point. Okay, so a look with fresh eyes, fresh attitude, and new views of inspiration and application as well. So if you vision board, or if you'd like to vision board, now's a good time to get that together. And also aligning with the frequency of the expansion you want to step into and the creation that you want to encourage, that you're committing to and you're transforming into that space. Aligning your frequency, it helps to imagine what it's going to feel like when you step into that space, when you reach that goal. About imagining what it's going to look like, imagining what it's going to feel like, and really embodying that to bring your frequency in alignment with it, to bring you into connection with the opportunities that are going to take you in that direction. Okay, so that's helpful if you like to work with alignment of energy and things like that. And then at the bottom we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so there may be a point of excitement and connection, because this is an active an indication that actions being taken to move towards your ambition. And this is a temporary energy. So there may be a point that you can get really excited about something, or an opportunity is going to rise. You're going to be really geared up to come into connection with. All right, and what lies between those two things, especially if you've been feeling a bit lackluster, especially throughout the Mercury retrograde that we entered into at the beginning of the month. You may be really frustrated and bored with how long and how frustrating things seem to be taking right now. But the excitement will come again, and opportunity is going to come again. That's going to be right, to be in alignment with what you want to connect to. So just consistently following through on the things that you're doing in order to continue to take you in that direction is applicable. And then between the two, Seven of Wands, stand your ground, hold your ground. The Chariot's still coming to swoop you up. You may feel stagnant, you may feel stuck in a single spot, and you have to defend against all kinds of frustrating situations that make it a little bit difficult to maintain your joy in the process. But again, you're looking at things from a higher ground. You can see things that other people can't see, and you have that vision of the future that you want to step into. So hold that space and maybe do something creative with it. Start a vision board. Start I'm a big fan of the Pinterest. Start a Pinterest board so you can get some visual and imaginative boards up there to sort of reinforce your decision and your application, and maybe get some new ideas and information that's going to further fortify. With the Magician, we have the Three of Wands. So that's looking to the future, seeing ships that are coming in, imagining what is on the horizon, reimagining your future and what you want it to look like from a point of creation within the fire space. So that's lovely. So again, if you've been feeling lackluster in the development of things, take the time to reimagine and refresh your vision of what that's going to be in the future. With the Lovers, we have the Ten of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Empress. Okay, so Ten of Wands again. You may be feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated, overburdened, burnout, frustration, release expectations of what you think things are supposed to look like right now and how you're supposed to behave in the situation right now, so that you can reimagine things and then align your actions with that. Hierophant, you may still be thinking in traditional forms of process, and the new moon in Aquarius is a great space to innovate within those forms. If you feel like you have to stick to a strict adherence to traditional rules that are set up by God knows who, it's just you're aware that that's the way that things have worked up until now, That doesn't mean that you can't innovate within that space. That's the way they worked up till now, and they can be a great support structure in order to innovate within, but you can be creative within that space by seeking out alternate information that will allow you to apply innovation within that space with the Empress. Infinite creation, divine feminine, a fertility, abundance, knowing what it takes to bring something from the imagination into the reality, and a very creative and understanding and receptive energy with the Empress. Lovely. Okay, and let's clarify death here. And death, we have the Ace of Pentacles and Temperance. Patience, the opportunity is coming. It may feel like things have stalled. It may feel like things are taking forever to get to the next stage of their development and where you thought they would be by now. But it's still coming. Patience in the shifting, because you have Temperance and Death here. So that's death is the ending of one thing in preparation to open up to the next thing. Okay, and then Temperance is the alchemy of the space between, the alchemy of the change, what happens between what was and what will be, and the flux and the flow and exchange of energy. It's like from within the chrysalis, you know, when the caterpillar is becoming the butterfly. What happens in the chrysalis is the Temperance space. And then the opportunity that's going to connect with you for manifestation on the other side. Because again, this is the material realm. This is earth energy. So, so patience, and consistently following through on what you said you wanted to do, but opening up your mind and your vision and your expectations in innovative ways, leaning into your uniqueness. Like, you know how it looks for others, like if you're developing a business or you're in a relationship or whatever it is that you've chosen to commit to work on. You've seen how other people have been doing it, other people that have been successful at doing what you've been wanting to do. And with the Hierophant, it's important to look at those things and be aware of, okay, well, I would like to do something similar. I want to do that too, but how did they do it? But then with the Empress and with the Magician and the Three of Wands and the time and space that you have to reevaluate and re-envision how you want to apply that information to what you are doing is important, because it is about your autonomy, your uniqueness, what is specific, and, well, not specific, but what is significant about you that makes you different from the traditional, and applying that information to this scenario, to this system, is what's going to bring along the right opportunity to tap into that expansion that Jupiter in Aquarius is applying right now, and Venus and Mercury, and I think so many things are in Aquarius right now. So if innovation, radical innovation, is something that you are interested in and that really inspires you, now is a great time to operate within that system and make plans, make broad spectrum plans to envision it for the future with Justice and the Magician here. Oops. And then we have, with the King of Cups, from emotional maturity and understanding and mastery. Six of Wands, victory through action. Five of Cups, processing loss and grief and disappointment. And the Ace of Wands. Okay, so recognizing what doesn't work, what has been a disappointment, and reevaluating those things in order to refine them to apply moving into the future with the Five of Cups. And then that brings you with the Ace of Wands, new inspiration, ignition, new fire, to reinvigoration to what you've already been working on, and applying innovative ideas and actions and attitudes toward the entire process. All right, and with the Six of Wands, that gives you victory through action, coming through the point of the obstacles. All right, so if you're feeling like you're in the Five of Wands space, where you're testing out your skills, or you keep trying things and they don't seem to be working out the way that you hoped that they would or that they expected you would. Applying this spirit of innovation and this perspective of, okay, well, it didn't work that way. What can I do, or how can I apply the information that I have with new information and new inspiration in order to reapply that, in order to be victorious through that action and not to be ruled over by the disappointments and the difficulties of that process, but accepting that those things are part of the process that is going to allow me to create what is unique and individual for me. And that at the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. So being confident in your progression forward, actively moving forward, confident within that space, but allowing for the vulnerability within that space and remaining receptive and open and sincere in your progression towards it with the Knight of Cups. Lovely. So the universe has my back. Let's see what that has to say today. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Okay, so that's a great time to, especially Aquarius in the new moon, it's a great time to reevaluate, okay, how have your outer experiences been influencing you? What has happened? How have you behaved within those situations that you are in alignment with? And how have you behaved in those situations where you're like, you know what, I really didn't like that that's how that went down. I'm not a fan of that particular moment. And, ask yourself, well, why not? To get to the core of where you may have some disconnection and disalignment within yourself or within the situation or outward of yourself that may be causing stumbling blocks, where you may need to readjust or reaffirm or reconsider how you're going to operate within that realm. And then also, like I said, embracing and imagining how it is you want to feel in the situation, or not how you want to feel, but how it's going to feel when you reach your goal, or you're doing the thing that you want to be doing to the level that you want to be doing it, the space that you want to be operating in. Your environmental space is very significant, at least in my opinion. So if your house or your apartment or your room is a kind of a clutter, it's the middle of winter, so everybody's sort of stuck inside due to the elements, and things can get, a bit cluttered, and a bit messy, and a bit, a lot of static can move in. So, if it's something as simple as cleaning your space, cleaning out the closets, getting rid of static stuff that's just sitting up there taking up space that you don't need, cleaning out the cupboards, cleaning out the refrigerator, really moving the furniture and rearranging things, or doing like a really good refreshing of the physical space that you're existing within may also help to, it actually will help to influence and support your internal condition as well. I actually think that the state of a person's personal closet can be very reflective or telling about how that person is feeling on the inside. So if your closet's a tangled mess of clothes and things, and because it's a space that's only for you, nobody else goes in there, so it's unique and individual to you, it's very personal. Clean out your closet and really go through things and organize things. Get rid of what you no longer want, you no longer need, that's just taking up space. That can allow the space for new things to move in. So if you haven't tried that before, try that. It helps me. So that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope that was helpful. If anybody else is ready for this Mercury retrograde to be over, I certainly am as well. But just a few more days. I believe it goes direct again on the 22nd. So whatever it is that you've been focused on and working on and reevaluating in the plans that you're making now, it's a great time to prepare for when Mercury goes direct again, and everything that's going to open up to come into connection and into flow and into frequency. If you're prepared for it and aware of it, I believe it has the potential to be remarkable experience at the end of February going into March. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope that you are too. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a fantastic Thursday.